What's up, guys? It's my first live stream. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can hear me. I do have my mic on, but what's up? What's up? What's up? It's been a it's been a cool day. Just gonna wait for some more people to get in here. One person to get in here. I'm just I'm just grateful for today and just really all the blessings. I mean, sometimes I think we brush over the like I always stress like living for today and not seeing too far down the road because you don't you don't know what's going to transpire in your life. Things can happen, and you know even if you are emotionally regulated and you have a good sense of emotions, there's still going to be times where there's a monkey wrench thrown in your plans, and you have to be able to adjust, maneuver, pivot, counterpoint in some type of way. And sometimes life calls for that, even when you're not ready to, right? Like when you actually have to pivot or you have to adjust. Uh, the reason why it's so like it can be taxing is because it's just unprepared. How can you prepare like from a what would you might consider a hidden attack, right? And I guess this past month, I just hit my 30 days of 30-day detox pretty much of certain habits that I've let go. And like I said, I wasn't gonna fap. I said that I was going to no sweets, no smoking, no drinking, 30 days, and I wanted to really transcend those habits and turn those into things of the past. Although, albeit not saying that those are bad habits, right? But more so habits I don't align with anymore. For Christmas, my mouth is a little dry. For Christmas, I probably will, um, you know, I'll probably get a drink. My bad. I was just like, probably get a drink. Who knows? But yeah, it's uh, it's been a pretty chill day so far. Yeah. Wonder. I know nobody's in there yet. I don't think so, but just wondering how you guys are doing. You know, it's just really nice talking with you guys. Excuse me. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back. Yeah. So yeah, I was just playing some lo-fi. I was just saying I've been really questioning my existence and in a judgmental way, more from a neutral standpoint. It's weird. Like this year has seemed like it's flown by pretty quickly. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if my mic is working properly with live streaming. This is my first live stream, but like Christmas in 2 days, maybe because I'm in West Texas, it's a little bit dry, but it doesn't feel like Christmas in 2 days, and what New Year's in like a week, like right. So I've been trying to just compartmentalize everything, and it's been it's been a good year, honestly. You know, I like I've been suggesting is to take it day by day and not look at the bigger picture and not exactly what's far ahead. Because when you're so much into the future, like oh, you have plans and you never know when a monkey wrench can be thrown in your. You can hear me? Okay, cool. Yeah. We have these plans in our head, like in a year we want to be here, and a couple of years we want to be here, and then we think about it. There can be a monkey wrench thrown in your plans, and you have to adjust. You have to pivot. You have to kind of go back to the square one, honestly. And I've experienced that firsthand. You know, um, just to be honest, my injury to my back was just like sort of a big thing. I really tried to keep a positive mindset, like beyond it all, really beyond what was told or what I saw. I knew that you know I knew what I'd be fine in the end, and I tried to keep that the entire time. Um, and I think it helped me get back to, I'd say, a good 80, 85%. Um, I just returned back to work, so that's a good thing. Um, it's those of you who are in trade work understand that it's a bit taxing on the body, especially in oil, which is where I specialize in. Luckily, though, I am a robotic welder, so I kind of deal with robots on the daily. Kind of, I don't. I know how to hand weld, TIG, MIG, stick, all of that, but I work with like a joystick and I like automate weld. It's a TIG machine that automatic welds, so I use that. That's something I was doing back home before I moved down here, and then I knew someone at this company he brought me down here. But yeah, I'm moving toward the robotic welding part, and yeah, I've just really been, like I said, taking things slow and not trying to get too much in my head, you know. Because even with self improvement, I do think you can get too much into it, where you isolate yourself and you kind of just, which I think isolation is important. Don't get me wrong, but there's a time and place for everything. And too much of one thing I think is not balanced enough, So it's like, but where do you draw that line? Like when you're improving yourself. Sorry, my mouth is a little dry. When you're improving yourself, I was again talking to my friend about this. You you have to understand it's like it's built piece by piece, right? It's also like alluding back to my point earlier about not looking too far ahead. But when you want to improve yourself, I would suggest to take it slow. I just did my 30-day challenge where I told myself I wanted to consistently upload for 30 days. Today was day 30, or I think I hit 30 last night or whatever. And I just look back and think about how hard it was because no fap, right? I said it was no fapping, no watching corn, no smoking, no drinking, no sweets. So I cut it out cold turkey, all of it. And the body, I would say like the body needs a more gradual approach. Even though like mentally you can be strong, like yes, but like you listen to your body, you're more of a. It'll tell you, right? But I cut all of it out completely, and the first week was the toughest because I went from barely uploading on YouTube to like uploading every single day things I wanted to convey to really, really the point of it, I guess subconsciously was like I wanted to make a video diary to myself. So like I can look back and see like, okay, I've visually improved, right? Or like mentally, okay, like I was here day one, now I'm here day 30. Like, okay, my mental fortitude has strengthened. You know, I've gained the ability to say no to things that we feel like we have to do. Me being in West Texas, here, I mean, if I'll just be frank, besides um, going to bars or clubs, which is nothing wrong with that, there's not much outside of that culture. I see it in my job. I mean, I see it in my coworkers and stuff, and I'm not complaining or judging anybody for their actions or what they do. So I want to preface with that. But there's less third spaces, if you know what I know. If you know, you know. Less third spaces where people can kind of go and hang out. Like I always reference friends, similar to that. And so I said, this 30 days, I'm going to come out a better person because of it. The first, like I said, the first week was tough because I was about to return back to work, and I'm like, how am I supposed to film this? How am I supposed to do like how am I supposed to upload every single day for 30 days? Because I felt like I felt insecure. I felt like people wouldn't want to hear me talk. People wouldn't want to hear what I have to say. Like what I'm saying, there's 1,000 other videos. You can go watch it, you know. So I felt like, why would people want to watch me? And I had to get over that hump, especially in public. I mean, that's one of the hardest things I think for me was trying to record in public. Not to go off topic, but record in public. And so it started with like smoking because like I felt like smoking had a stronghold on me. Like I feel like now I won't say I've completely 100% like okay, boom, it's gone. I'm not gonna say smoking what because I don't want YouTube to. Sorry, I don't want YouTube to demonetize me, but I feel like it had a stronghold, and now I feel as though I don't have the desire for it, the taste. Like it's weird. Honestly, I thought I would come out of it like wanting to, but not really. As far as drinking, right? I didn't have much of a stronghold. I was more of a wine connoisseur. I like to drink certain wines, so but I had to slow down on that too. I'm in a book club, and I haven't gone in a couple months, but we each one of us will pick out a book, and then each month we go and read. It's a lot of fiction, nonfiction, some graphic novels. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like um, I think most meetings would maybe have like it's like intimate. It's maybe like 7 to 12 people, so everybody can like still talk and give their viewpoint about the book and everything. But um, yeah, it's a fun thing, and I don't know. I think I have had a friend who decided to take this challenge with me, and he's also like he texted me yesterday. He was like, "Hey, bro, like I appreciate your friendship, and like we talked before about how he understands that." Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, it's a book club. Now we each month we meet at a different restaurant, or we might meet at someone's house, and we all just kind of pick a book and like usually it's a new person that joins, but if nobody new has joined, then we just go based off. We just go back around. So yeah, we usually meet on the fourth Tuesday of every month. Yeah, um, yeah, that's pretty cool. They decided to take Christmas off and New Year's, but we'll be coming back. I think yeah, the third or fourth Tuesday in January. So yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, my friend he took the challenge with me, and he's been in the gym more. He's been getting at least 10,000 steps in, 10 to 12,000, 5,000 on the weekends. What he told me. He's probably watching, but um, he's been losing weight. I can tell he's been mentally more clear, um, and it's cool when you can be accountable with someone, right? But that's enough rambling. What I wanted to get to about my existential thoughts, right? I found this article online that had like 100 so questions that you could ponder about, and I thought it'd be cool to ask you guys some questions, and maybe we can go back and forth on these questions. Give me a minute. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back. Appreciate you guys for waiting. Yeah, I appreciate all the love and support you guys have been really showing me. It's been honestly great to read and really just go back with you guys, and like I really love getting people's perspective, like irrespective of my judgment or bias on my perspective, like they're gonna give theirs, and it's like okay, like I feel as though this is not a question. This is just me pondering. I think I think like inadvertently, sometimes people think being nice is like if you be nice, you're gonna get ran over, or what's the point of being nice because the world is so mean, you know? Like people are assholes. People, it seems that people have a consensus that other people are assholes and like just so horrible. And I don't know. I don't think that's. I mean, I know it's counterintuitive to what you know, but I still would rather be kind and nice than to match energy. Like you see people say, like I'm gonna match somebody's energy. That's not conducive or conductive. That's just when you do that. I mean, people are a reflection of you. You know what I mean? Like people are going to match your energy, right? And so even when someone's angry, someone's, um, I think my battery's about to die. Okay, give me a second. I'm sorry. I'm gonna hold that thought. Hope this doesn't mess with audio. All right, cool. Can you still hear me? Yes. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Can you guys hear me? I don't think so. Okay. Um, yeah. So people hold this consensus that people are assholes and that being nice to them is like there's no reason to be. But like I said, I don't think it's conductive or conducive because if you if you constantly put out bad vibes or negative energy, whether you believe in that hooboo juboo or whatever stuff, you don't have to. But I know that we are energetic beings. ultimately, and I do think it's true, like non-duality, and I think what you get out is what you're gonna get back. It's just I just think that's universal law, and so how do you how do you practically be nice, or how do you start to have more compassion rather? Honestly, I think what really opened my eyes up to having more compassion and more kindness for others is like travel. I relate it back to travel. I've been to a lot of places and been to a lot of different cultures and a lot of different towns, cities, and I think the more that I've done that, the more that I've tried to be comfortable talking with people, even when I'm in those awkward situations where like maybe at the gas pump and like other person's like right there looking at you, or those awkward moments that you like, that silence. I just ask people like, how's your day going? How are you doing? Like every person I run across, because I think um, it's like having that connection. The more that you talk to people, the more that you like let your guard down, right? To even have more compassion and empathy. And so it starts with really, I think, talking to more people. I think that's the most practical thing I can say is get comfortable with talking to people and actually being interested in them. And you start to realize that not everybody on the internet is, how can I rephrase this? People in real life, the internet is not a reflection of real life. It's not a, like myopic type thing where, like, no, there's the internet and then there's real life. Although, yes, the internet is a byproduct, I guess, of real life. You see real life on the internet. Everybody's not like that, you know. And so you just let your guard down, right? Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay to be respectful. It's okay to be nice. It's you don't lose anything, right? Like you gain more compassion and empathy. So you become empathetic and really, it's not about letting people run over you. You know. Mm, because we put your trust in, because it happened to me quite a bit. Hmm. So you put your trust in people, right, 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 but it didn't work out. Okay. Hmm. Well, two things. The reason I say put your trust in people, no, I don't think you have to fully put your trust in people. That's not what I'm getting at, because I know that there are people like you mentioned who have wronged you, who have went against you. You thought you could trust them in a certain fashion, and they went left, right? You went right, so it did work out. And I get that, and I can see how that would feel daunting and feel like, what's the point, And so now you could be more reclusive of how you, I guess, respond to people. So I can definitely see that. But I also think the reason I say that is because if I'll be honest, I think I'm not sure why. I don't want to blame technology, but that's not what I'm doing. But I think this world is very individualistic, very like self-centered, very, and I'm not saying this in a judgmental way. I'm observing that what I see from others, and I'm guilty of it myself. I'm not saying I'm not selfish or anything, of course, because I do have my moments, of course. But what I'm saying is sometimes I see the default as like there's so much friction between people, and people are just, this is my, like, this is the way I think, this is the way I think. So we're not gonna. Right, 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 right. I mean, I think about like, this might be a, how can I say, a different example, but this just came to mind. I was talking to one of my friends, kind of about that. We had watched that Netflix movie, um, the ones I think that Obama's produced. Because like something in the world, or it was I think it was like a world-ending movie or something like that. But with Mahershala Ali. But I was talking to him about this, and he was talking about, him being like so independent, and like, you know so we kind of talked about COVID. We kind of reached COVID, and I wanted to see what was his experience, because he was a nurse, so you had to deal with it. And I was telling him, I was like, this movie shows you that, like, yeah, you could talk about like, oh, it's political, it's this, is that, but like, they couldn't survive if they didn't have each other. And when people thought like, it's gonna be my way or no way, I feel like that's when you lose, right? But I get what you mean. Hope for a better tomorrow. And put some trust in others. Yeah, but I mean this way of like, we're always gonna be dependent on people. Like, I don't know if in this day and age you can go to the woods and just. Well, I know people have done it, so, or they're doing it now. But I don't know if you can become just a recluse and just kind of fade into the back. Well, not fade into the back, but you know what I mean. Like, have your own property, move out. Off the grid type thing. I don't know. I don't know if it's possible. Maybe I'm too sucked in, um, but I don't know if that's possible. So that's why I say we're always going to depend on others for things, and that's okay. Because I remember during COVID, like, uh, when when I got let go of my job. I was a welder back then, and I got hired like 6 months before COVID. So they let us off. They said it was just gonna be 2 weeks, right? And you know the whole story. But after that, I was like, well, I need to still work. So I went to work at a grocery store, and I became an essential worker. I had to carry a letter in my truck showing that I'm essentially have to be there. Oh, no, you good, man. No, you good. I appreciate you, man. Um, yeah, I became an essential worker and had to carry the piece of paper that I was essential. And as I was like, when I observed how COVID was, and like how people were upset that none of the truck drivers were getting their food delivered, and some food became scarce, and like, it seemed like it seemed like before then there was a shift of these type of jobs, right, where people don't. That's a big like question. It's like, why do people shit on service workers, right? We saw service workers being huge during COVID, right? That's why I said like the grocery store point. When I was there, it was just like, man, people really like, if a zombie apocalypse shit type did happen, you know, you I would want to be around people who have skills and different things like that. But um, I mean, like, not in nature. But yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, how was his experience? Because he was either on the job or like shut in his home. Like, he didn't have no human interaction and stuff. And like, that's the thing I think, how COVID really affected us is the communication aspect. Like, it got us used to being like indoors. It got us used to, you know, doing everything from the comfort of our home, which is essentially not a bad thing in itself, but to the extent that it was like pushed, I think it, and that may be a controversial take, I don't know, but I think it just made us be comfortable with the idea of isolation. Honestly, I really do. I think long lasting effects of that is the result of that is people being less trusting. I think when you be inside for so long, like again, like Kobe did, you don't really you don't have to get as much human interaction. You know, like if I can order everything delivered straight to my house, I don't have to step outside. I don't have to interact with the register. I don't have to. This is not an anti-tech rant or anything. I'm not getting into that, but I just noticed what it did or the after effects. I see the after effects daily. Um, I was essential, and I even know what it did to me because I was traveling, yes, but other than that, I was being indoors, and I hated it because I love going hiking. I love being in nature, and so for me to not be able to go and do those things were like kind of they kind of sucked. I know some people are like, oh, I enjoyed my time indoors. Like, it was great for me. Like, I get to, started. I did my business, got my business afloat, or I got this, or I was able to rest or whatever. Like, yeah, of course I see the benefits, but like, like I saw a video today of I think it was Gen Alpha. I think that's the new. It's like baby boomers, and then yeah. So like Gen Zs and then Gen Alphas, I think, and they're asking them like they're asking the kids like, so what do you? It's like what would you call a cool person? And they were just like, they said, oh, we'll say what they say. I'm trying to think of it. It was like, oh, okay, oh yeah, it's like what do you call a cool person? And it's like they say, oh, you got swag on God, no cap. And I was like, okay, that shows me I'm getting older. I was like, no, I'm getting older, man. Like, and then they was like, oh, what do you think about millennials? And the kid said, I wish I could go back and be my ancestors. Bro, millennials are ancestors now? Like, are we that old? Like, man, like, it made me really feel old. But I do wanted to get into some of these questions. Maybe we can go back and forth. First question is, let me type it up. I'm gonna start a poll. I ask the question like that. I just want to pull it up. So, question is, would aliens want to be friends with humans? Would aliens want to be friends with humans? Hmm. Hmm. That's a deep, loaded question. Would aliens want to be friends with humans? Well, I think you have to ask yourself what defines an alien to you. Because, like, some people have this idea of the Greys, right? Or the Anunnaki, but those lizards is different. But the Greys, or green little alien monsters, you know, like, or like very intelligent, higher conscious beings that can move past the speed of light and have this God knowing wisdom and able to teach us how to do whatever, right? But I know we've seen videos of extraterrestrial beings or what we believe to be extraterrestrial beings, but I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, so I don't think that my personal view of aliens are not, they don't align with those concepts. Like I guess maybe sometimes I can't really picture what an alien would look like. Like if you think about it, would they have to be super intelligent to be able to get to our planet? In theory, yes, but also in theory, no, depending on how fast they can travel. Would they want to be friends with us though? I don't want to be friends. No, I'm just joking. Uh, I don't think so. I don't think so, and it's not because I think humans are stupid or we're just like ignorant or whatever. Not that, but if you think about a new species, like, oh yeah, for sure. I um, I don't think, like, if I met a new species, of course I'd be intrigued. I'd be very curious, but I don't know if I want to be friends with it. Like, I would have to really like think about it. I really have to think about that because what are they just like? I know you've probably seen the movie Signs with Mel Gibson and a younger Joaquin Phoenix. But I really like that movie. It's just it's a very funny movie. But I think about that. Like, what if we start seeing crop circles and shit? What if we what if we wake up one day and it's like 10 crop circles in like every like country? Like, wouldn't that be some? Mm. Hmm. Do you think aliens would be more chill if they had more technological advances? Well, you don't think they would want to invade us? Like if they can intellectually tell that we're on a lower level, you don't think they would want to seize us? You don't think they would want to like pick apart our brains? Capture us as slaves, right? Only because they have more power, firepower, mental power, or some type of psychic ability where they can, I don't know, free somebody in space and time. Like, wouldn't that be something? Like, anybody have explored that? Like, very true. You would think that aliens would be caught up on humans. It's funny. It's funny you say that. I think about Age of Ultron and Avengers. That movie underrated. I know people like it's like uh, the critic score and user score is pretty low for it, but I like that movie. I like Ultron, and it's funny because you notice that Ultron was like he read about humanity in like less than 30 seconds. It was probably like 15 seconds, if that. And he was like, I know I gotta wipe everything out, bro. Like, 15 seconds, and he was like, all right, I need to destroy these motherfuckers. Like, I gotta rebuild. All my philosophy. Yeah, I've been meaning to read Pluto. Um, I do have one more book, like Power of Now I'm reading, and then I wanted to get to one more book, and then I was going to get to Pluto. But yeah, I'm a fan of Marcus Aurelius and his some of his teachings in his book. Uh, Let me go get it right quick. Yeah, Marcus Aurelius Meditations. Um, I read this thing twice already, probably three times, and every time I read it, it's like something sticks out to me, especially the way that he writes to himself, but almost in a. It's like he like the underscore of like the book is like he he writes it to himself, but also in mind in case of like anybody else read it, they would understand it too. Or maybe that's just a translation of it. But yeah, it's I love reading some form of philosophy. Is that a certain topic in philosophy that you're interested in, or are you just talking about philosophy in general, or what type of you have a specific question? Because philosophy is very general and broad. So, what specifically are you mentioning? That was actually a Netflix show called. Where they, yeah, I think it was just called Aurelius, but it was showing him and his son Commodus. Commonplace socialist. Hmm. Okay. Do you have a certain book would you like to read or recommend from him? Mm. Okay. Okay. So you're more socialistic. Okay. So you really believe in the betterment and I would say the betterment and the fairness, I guess, of people in a broader sense in the socialistic viewpoint. Okay. Hmm. I would say I guess I would agree with some socialistic ideas. Um, personally, I'm sorry if I saw something. Personally, I don't read many socialistic books. More of my books lately have been more either. I mean, some have been philosophical, uh, but most have been like self help. They haven't been like prophetic thoughts in my. Hold up, let me look that up on my iPad. That sounds like something I want. Prophetic thoughts. I've been live almost 45 minutes, so I'm probably gonna end it at the next 5 to 6 minutes because I want to go. Have to go do something right quick. But if you have any more questions or want to talk about something, okay. Yeah, Cornel West. Okay, found it. Nice. Also, was thinking about reading 1984. I think that's what it's called. I see many people like talk about it or how we could be in um, um, my bad, I lost my train of thought. Hmm, it does seem interesting. don't know if you guys watch him on YouTube, but his name is Leo. His channel is actualize.org. I really like his philosophy. Sometimes it can be a little cultish, but which club or organization is not in some way cultish, right? She's got fans, right? You got people like you, right? But I like his philosophy, and he, I don't know, the things he says. I've been listening to Muji as well, deep side of spirituality, and the thoughts that the thought that the ever present, right, is here, and that who we think we are deep on the inside, our personality is a projection of our mind. And yeah, yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I don't think anything is wrong with reading other humans for insight. I mean, that's really what observing is. Like at the end of the day, you just observing human life, which is very nuanced and very complex, but yet simple, simple in a way that how practical it can be. You know, uh, we like to we have this idea of who we are in our head, right? Versus like we have this like a imaginary audience is I think what we have. Like we have this idea, this complex of like people are so concerned with us, or people are judging us, because most of the time we judge ourselves pretty harshly. Like we are very, very hard on ourselves, and I just I don't know. I kind of woke up to that. I don't know. I'm not gonna say awaken because I don't. That's not. It doesn't. I mean, I don't want to get into that. Just because, yeah, you can awaken, but awakening again is not this huge. To me, it's not this like huge. Oh my gosh! Like I just had this biggest like aha moment. Awakening is just be you coming to the truth of things in your life, which I think is more of a again practical way, because that's a good question. I really like that question. I will preface with this and say I think you can harmoniously live. If you think about a box and you feel like you're outside of the box, you're outside of humanity. I do think you can coexist. I think there is a way. I think there's a balance, but people talk about balance a lot. Like sometimes balance can be you walking on like a 20 by 50 sheet of plywood in terms of a tightrope. Like you have so much footage where like you're not gonna fall. Other times your balance can be so like nuanced and so like thin, right? It can be like as thin as this book that like you're walking a tightrope and like you tip to the side one time, like because it's not perfect. But as far as being an outsider, I do think I do think I align with that. I do. At first, I wanted to fight it. I come from a very spiritual in a way. Again, my grandfather is Southern Baptist Christian. My mom, my sisters, everybody is Southern Baptist, deep Christians, and they are to the core. I don't align with religion as much anymore because I've seen it for what it is, or what it isn't rather. And not to get too specific, but I just don't align with it. and with some of it, I'll say that. And so, you know, I know, I know how in my community, I don't try to bring race into this. I don't know your race, so I'm not gonna try to view it from that lens, okay? But I do know how we are expected to act a certain way. We're expected to talk a certain way, look a certain way, behave a certain way, and I just don't believe in those concepts and ideas. I don't believe we have to be boxed by our race, which I just think was made up. But I digress. We don't have to be those things. We can be much more because we are much more than our skin tone, right? Which is like so. I was telling my friends the other day. I feel like as humans, we focus so much on like such like trivial, small things, such trivial, small things that we focus on, like just race in general. Like, why are we still stuck on that? Like, and I get it. It's when you start to when your consciousness is expanded, right, and you really start to see things, right, you can understand the division of sometimes that it creates, sometimes the butting of heads, just like politics. Just like, right, butting of heads, it's my way, it's my way, there's no common ground, this is my enemy, this is my, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no togetherness. And I say that because, you know, you just think about it, it's, it's one of those things where I don't know. Some people might have called me hippie in the past, but okay, cool. You know, I listen to a lot of reggae music. I just understand that like there's more in common with us than anything. And so, for me, going back to my point, okay, as a black man, right, and already at home, I was kind of unveiling that shield of what I perceive to be a black man, right? No disrespect to like my ancestors or anything like that, but I kind of broke past that idea. I know that might sound weird. I know that might feel like, well, no, you are a black man, so like it would be delusional to not think you are. It would be crazy. You need to have some type of identification, classification. Like yes, but the way that society views said certain people, I'm saying this for every race. I'm not just talking about black people. I'm talking about every race. We automatically have an idea of how they should be, act, talk, and everything. And I feel like that keeps us at a lower state of consciousness because now we automatically are gonna have a biases about these people. And we can't completely get rid of our biases, right? It's been ingrained in us. But like, ask yourself, stop and ask yourself why do you think this certain way about a race of people or a group of people? You know, like I have friends that are trans. I have friends that are gay. I say that because I have a coworker who he I don't know he's younger, right? And I don't know. I think he watches a lot of TikTok, and I know it might sound old when I say that, but his views sometimes are it's very like I won't say hateful, but like I don't know, man. He exactly, man, exactly. I'm gonna touch on that because I have an interesting point about that. But yeah, like these these groups of people do not have to act a certain way, and so what I'm saying is in order to really gain more compassion and empathy for people and be empathetic, right, which is not a bad thing. Yes, on paper, I might be like a certain group, race, religion, age, height, weight, whatever. But like transcend those things, because like that's where I feel like we get stuck. Like, how can we transcend to higher levels of consciousness if we're so like base low? You know, there's this concept in philosophy called spiral dynamics, which kind of underscores like different philosophies and different bracket and like different colors based on stages of life you're in. If you don't know what I'm saying, look up spiral dynamics and the stages. You might see actualize.org, the channel I was referencing earlier. It might pop up because he likes to mention about it a lot. But like quantum mechanics and stuff. Um, but yeah, once you uh, transcend those things, then that's where like you can get along with anybody, right? Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what I was saying in my video the other day. Like you can't force it. It's like expanding your self love, right? Or like you say, transcending the self. It does take time. It's not something you can grasp in a weekend or a day. It's a lifelong, day to day, like learning and process of constantly, and you know, in a healthy way, like just taking the time to observe how you're moving. You know, like, but like you said, it will come to you. You know, it will come to you. And when it does, sometimes it's unexpected and it feels great, you know, to really like, like, okay, hmm, okay, so now I can see just for what it is. You don't, during it, you don't see it, but when it comes to a point, you really, you really understand life's concepts and things become clear for you, right? There's not as much hate or tension that you have with people and or yourself. I'm not perfect at this, so I'm not saying that by any means, but transcend those things because they do not matter in the grand scheme of things. It don't matter. My friend that is trans, or my other friends that are gay, or just a whole group of people I hang out with, like even this is a couple I know I hang out with them too. Like I, I like to, like you said, I like to surround myself with different people's opinions, different people's concepts, because that for me, it keeps me open into the idea of right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. There isn't anybody that has all the answers. There's nothing. I'm not I'm not discrediting God. I'm saying there's no leader or person that is gonna like really just have all the answers. I mean, for some people that's presidential candidates. For some people that's a celebrity, entertainer, or sports player. But like people just don't. I don't know. They don't have all the answers. You really have to do the work yourself. I mean, you can't press the responsibility of finding yourself on anybody else. And like I said, it comes to you, and it's just self discovery. Really, it's really self discovery to go within. And what I did in November was pretty huge. So I journal uh, every day for 30 days. I'm journal, but before that, I was sparingly like not every single day journaling, and I just played around with the idea of like trying to do self therapy, self regulation, and kind of going back, like thinking of some of my broader topics of why I think the way I do, and kind of like, okay, well, if I thought this, where does this idea come from? And then you backtrack, and it's like, oh, okay, now I remember, in college, this is how I felt, and I see how it has grown into this, or you reverse engineer, and you kind of like, it's shadow work basically, but you really work on yourself internally, right? It's not an easy process, man. I mean, we don't we don't really want to face our past. I mean, maybe I'm just projecting. It could be, but I feel like whether you are proud of your past, like maybe I guess if you're super like super proud of your past and stuff, and of course I can be too esoteric and say past and future doesn't exist, but I'm not going there. If you do want to like think about your past and you view it in like a great way, like oh my past is what it was, and like I had amazing times, then yeah, like you bring up your past. But if you feel like subconsciously or unconsciously maybe, subconsciously, if you feel that your past is not hasn't been the best, then like you're more reluctant to bring it up. But I don't know. I think it's important to learn from the past. That's why we have history, right? History is to learn from the past. Um, right. Let me ask you a previous question, and then I'm gonna answer that question. So you're talking about earlier about um, you're talking about the your dad was a my bad. Your I guess family member was a Black Panther, but he got pretty much like they closed the program. It's funny. I just watched the movie Judas and the Black Messiah about the Black Panther Party. Like this is a week ago with my friend, and I thought it was pretty interesting and how how much we had, but like so little in the eyes of others. You know, it was interesting to see his like some would say radical points of view about again kind of socialism, right? Having free community healthcare programs, for the kids and free lunch down at the Y and different places. Actively trying to build a community, which I thought was a good thing, but in the eyes of others, it was they trying to start a rally, they trying to uprise the government, they trying to overthrow us, right? So yeah, I think it was the murder of Fred Hampton, if I'm not mistaken. But I thought it was a really great movie. Dan Kalula, amazing. That was a great movie, and it really showed just what people went through. So I get like history is very important. I think if you get too caught up in the past, though, you will stop your present self from uh, you stop your current self from evolving if you get too stuck in the past. So yes, it's important to have, but I don't think we should be actively living in it. Um, you talk about yeah, someone I think someone can be innately good. You don't have to right, right. Yeah. Black Messiah, man. It was I love Lakeith Stanfield, one of my favorite actors right now. Dude is he's killing it. But yeah, it was such a great movie. I do think people are innately good, like you say, and Judaism. I don't think that's why I talk about like breaking past race. I also think about breaking past religion. Like how many religions have started wars? How many religions have caused harm in the name of good? I don't care what you call me. That's just what I think. It has caused more damage than I think it has good. It's just my opinion. No, it was no question. It was no question. I was just saying. I was talking about the Black Panther Party, and then uh, I was saying everybody, people can be innately good without religion. I think that's like just that's within us. I think it's akin to how when you have newborn puppies, dogs, or you have kittens, and they kind of like instinctively just do a thing without even, I guess, know consciously maybe they're doing it. Like I've had my dog since he was like barely even a month, and when I got him, he would pee on the little pad, and then like he start kicking his feet up, or like after he poop, he'll kick his feet up, and it's like, how do you know that? Like it's like that type of thing. Like how do you know what you're doing right now? So I think like we can be innately good, and you can be agnostic, you can be a Satanist, you can still do good. Like right, that's not a and even those are can be religious too. But like I'm saying, if you if you really just act from within, I think you can just be innately be good. it's but I get it, man. Like we do have a history, and sometimes we go through a lot of trauma. You know, it's natural for us to go through trauma, man. I mean, natural in the way that we have all collectively, like again, there's a big consensus like of therapy. I talked about that. It's because we all have went through certain periods. You know, that's why I advocate for taking it day by day because like I know, I've suffered from great loss before in the past, and so I kind of I try to be like practical and but also like understand that it's gonna take time and try to enjoy each moment that I have in the best way I can. It's not easy. It's easier said than done, but I try to enjoy the moment I have because I don't know when you never know type of thing. You have to just like I'm gonna live for myself. I'm going to really just I'm gonna live for myself and I'm gonna do exactly what I want to do. So that's why I talk about race and I talk about as a black man, right? Going back into that. When I started to like do different things and really branch out and explore different topics, other people's opinions, other people's concerns, it just made me kind of well rounded, I think, and the best way possible to be able to, you know, have a deeper sense of self love and a deeper acceptance of other people. Because I do think, again, we're all human. And when you start to like pinpoint, you start to like classify, like, oh, they're this, they're that, or that. Like, come on, man. Like, you have your opinion too. That's just my view on it. Sometimes I wonder, you know, these radical views, I guess, or we consider radical views, like, why are they radical? You know? Um, Only radical depending on like other people's opinions are only like based off your concept of how you grew up. Like, isn't that weird? Like, just let's dissect that. So, if you think about like what somebody's opinion is, I think it's like any dietary restrictions. So my best mate is going through the same thing, and you know, mentally, I think when I first started, I crashed. Well, I'll say that I crashed when I first started. I was becoming more active for like not only human rights but animal rights, and I noticed that you pair that along with my family and medical history we have in our family of like diabetes and high blood pressure and different like autoimmune diseases and things. And so for me, you pair those, and I was like, I'm gonna see if I can lessen, you know, I can lessen my impact on like animal rights. I know you're asked about dietary restrictions, but I'm getting there. I'm just slowly getting there. And so I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna try to go plant based. I'm gonna try to. I know I want to be healthier because no, it's not what somebody else thinks. But I also want to feel good in my skin. You know, I want to feel, which you can do at any size. But if you come from a perspective of you want dietary restrictions, you could be saying these things. You know that maybe you want to be at a smaller size, or you want to really get in shape, whatever the case may be. I do think you should take a long term approach to this. My advice is to not rush it when it comes to losing weight specifically. I'm gonna get to the strength training, but just losing weight. If you just want to lose, not cut, but you just want to lose weight. I think you should count the macro days, not the micro, even though the micro makes up the macro. So you should, in the macro way, know that I weigh 300 pounds and my goal is to be 200. I want to lose 100 pounds. Or you can see, say, I want to lose 15 pounds within the next month and a half, 2 months. I got a wedding coming up, or I'm trying to get in a nice tuxedo. I want to lose weight. I would suggest like my biggest practical advice would be to, in a macro way, know that this is going to take time. It can take you 6 months. It can take a year. Everybody's body is different, but I feel like on an energetic level and like like on a cellular level, I think we're all the same. So in that way, you want to slowly cut back. Forget if you're not eating meat. That's a different concept. That's me. That's just me projecting about what my views and stuff about animal rights. But say you are eating meat or whatever. I'm not suggesting you don't eat meat. Uh, when I went home, my uncle was trying to get me. Well, uncle cooked because I came home and he was like, "Hey, I have a slab of ribs on the grill and all this." And he's like, "Oh, I forgot you don't eat meat," and he made a joke about it, whatever. But no, I don't ever suggest anybody stop eating meat. But I say as far as cutting back, like whatever habit that you think you do, you might say, "Man, I drink 6 Cokes a week." Um, oh, you are nice, nice. Well, well, you definitely understand what I mean. You definitely understand. It's well, let me say this. I won't say completely vegan because there's times when, like on Thanksgiving, I didn't have many options and I ended up eating somebody's mac and cheese. So like a couple times throughout the year, I might eat cheese if it's like socially and that's the only thing I got, and I was just like fuck it. But in the context, yeah, vegan, vegetarian, whatever. I don't get too technical about it, but yeah, yeah, it's been 4 years now, and I'll just say again, if you are going back to this, if you are eating meat or you are, wanting to lose weight, the best way to do it is again to slowly cut things out that you feel like are holding you back. So I would say most 9 times out of 10, people are eating too much fat. I would say because I don't have any scientific proof to put up to you guys. Maybe I'll link an article. So take my advice with a grain of salt. This is just work for me. Beside the veganism, beside that, was slowly cutting out red meat. It was slowly cutting out all of the pork, all of the stuff, all of the fattening stuff, right? The stuff that's gonna make you bigger. Because fat makes you fat. It's not carbs. Um, it's not complex carbs. Simple carbs, donuts, pastries, breads, uh, certain pastas, right? Those are the simple carbs. Those are the things that are gonna, right? The cakes, rice cakes and all that. Not rice cakes, but the Debbie cakes. Those are things that's gonna blow you up because they have high fat in them, right? So those are also simple carbs. Complex carbs being your legumes, your potatoes, you know uh, your quinoa, your oatmeals, your grains, your wheats, things like the flax seeds, things like those are more your complex carbs, right? You can get full on rice, you can get protein, you can get all that, right, from complex carbs. Simple carbs are things you just want to slowly cut out. So I would say if you used to eating snacks 5 or 6 times a week, maybe cut it down to 2 or 3. It's like start small. Look at the bigger picture. Think you just know that it's going to take you time, and incorporate at least 30 minutes of exercise a day. Right, right. I get that. If you if you eat a lot, even if it's just the healthier stuff, that's why again it takes a certain balance. That calories can add up. Vegan 7 years, nice man. That's really nice to hear. I'm gonna have to read that. That's cool. But you definitely can add up the calories fast if you're eating a lot, regardless of what you're eating. That's why I think personally keto was originally made for kids with Alzheimer's. Not Alzheimer's, my bad. I'm sorry, epilepsy, and they would put them on a keto diet and saw that they have reduced episodes in kids, and it would help. So biological like biologically keto help I guess with kids. Adults want to be say you're going in ketosis and you start to lose weight that way. And I think people have good results on keto. That's why when you go to the snack aisle, you'll see a lot of things, or a little bit more healthy aisle, you'll see like this is keto friendly. Yeah, and these these people like when you go to the snack section, you see keto and everything. So yes, keto, like keto friendly. That's like a new buzz thing, but I just think eating all of that fat has irreversible effects on your arteries, your kidneys, all of that. It does. I'm the same way uh, when it comes to eating a lot, and I think it's because I'm mostly eating fruits, veggies, beans, potatoes. I eat a lot of carbs. Like I wouldn't classify myself as high carb, but I eat a lot of carbs and like a lot. And I mean, it's helped me kind of get in shape, I guess. But I don't know. My calories add up really quick, man. Because if I eat Chipotle, I'm already hitting it just by eating Chipotle. That's not including me eating two more times if I get hungry, which I probably do. So my calories do add up. I guess maybe my metabolism has sped up, so it's also helped in that way because I've been able to have a higher metabolism. Right, right. Carbs are I mean, I don't think this is healthy, but there is a video, and you guys have probably seen it. You've seen it probably of a guy eating nothing but potatoes for like a whole year, and he lost 100 something pounds. I'm not saying that's the best way, obviously, but he lost 100 something pounds. Like, yeah, carbs, our brain run on like glucose, right? Those carbs really help give us energy, and I noticed that, which is why I eat a lot of carbs. But yeah, it's just I think also what initially helped me because I didn't even work out when I first started losing weight. I guess consciously, I had worked a job that I was working at Raising Cane's, and I had to walk to work or catch the bus. Most times I missed the bus, so I just started walking everywhere. I think walking is like highly undervalued, highly underrated. Just walking can bring exponential results to your weight loss journey. Like the time I've been off of work, I've just been walking and walking and walking. And as I've noticed, I've lost more weight. It's just by walking. Because of my back and my injury, I haven't been lifting as much. But I do have a pull-up bar in my house, so I hit I try to hit about 20, 25 pull-ups. Try to do about like 40 push-ups, maybe um, 10 to 15 reverse dips. Um, and then try to do a variation of core strengthening exercises and a little bit of cardio. But the walking, again, if you want to lose weight, just go walk. Like I'm serious, just go walk. In 6 months, you go on walking every day, you'll lose at least. Everybody's body's different, but I say at least like 25 pounds. That's a good weight. 25 pounds in 6 months from walking. And then the good thing about it is you keep it off. It doesn't come back. I mean, it does like that's like it's fat losing, right? So now my appetite has increased. I noticed. I don't know if you noticed, but like in the winter, I guess I definitely eat more carbs because I just get super hungry. Like, yeah, that's nice. Oh yeah, man. I see you trying. Okay, you trying to build your chest, doing that many push-ups. Yeah, definitely. Yoga regimen. Yeah, I've been. I've definitely been doing the yoga remedy. Definitely more. I see how yoga can be very beneficial. Although I do go to physical therapy, I have been going. It's been helping and stuff, but I also like to do the at-home yoga and try to stretch on my own. But yeah, man, 180 push-ups, man. Like you killing it, bro. Keep doing it. I'm proud of that. That's awesome. My I'm not there yet, but that's dope, man. Um, it sounds like you're doing I mean, right things. But also try to fit in cardio, so that's cool, right? So say you want to lose about 15 more pounds, you need to lose about 25 more pounds in order to get out of range. Hmm. Okay. see one more time. I guess it's also like, so I told you earlier to look at the macro version of losing weight, and this might take 6 months to a year, but like there is time to look at the micro steps because the micro adjustments is what are huge, right? So like, are you intermittent fasting, or are you just eating between a certain hour, 12 to 9, or 12 to 8? Are you doing a 6 hour window or a 10 hour window? So that's important to know. How early are you eating when you wake up, and how late are you eating before bed? Because that plays a role in not only our sleep patterns and our sleep habits, but our weight. And I try not to give my body too much work before going to bed. Like last night, I ate pretty late, but I usually try to not eat 2.5 hours to 3 hours before I go to sleep. That way, I give my body time to adjust, wind down. Cause like you go eat McDonald's, or you go eat, I said McDonald's, you can go eat a salad before bed, and it's still gonna like, your body's still gonna be working, trying to digest that while you're sleeping. You know what I'm saying? You want to wait and give it some time. Conversely, in the morning when you get up, I know I say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and I get it. It's metabolism boost, boosting energy. I think you should give your body that same time. Maybe if you do have class, or you have something important where you have to just eat, like you can't wait, because it's either eating in the morning or at lunch break. I get it, because again I work in trades, so like we get a lunch break at 12, sometimes 12:30, but it's like it's not a guaranteed lunch break. You can still be working past it. Um, 6'1", 250. I was figuring he's about 250. I don't know why, but I was thinking, I was like, I feel like he might be, like someone's telling me he might be like 240, 245 maybe. Okay. Yeah, it's like those, even the vegan snacks are you have to watch out for those. I think those were like when I started, I noticed that I wasn't dropping. Like so recently, I've been stuck at 180 for a while, for almost like a year. I was stuck at 180 for a year. I didn't really know why, but once I started cutting out the vegan junk food, or just junk food in general, it dropped. Now I'm at 160 to 165. Use that, and use it just like 160, 163. And that's because I noticed that the vegan snacks are also not as healthy. I mean, they're non-dairy, or they're healthier, or they're vegan, or they gluten friendly. So like, yeah, right. And it's an alternative meat, or alternative snack or whatever. But it doesn't mean it's not. It doesn't have the same amount of fat. You know, I would even argue that a lot of vegan snacks or things like that have even more, considerable amount of fat in them, because the way they have to process them, pea protein and all the other stuff they have to do to even process those snacks. So, but yeah, I'm just saying, cut down on how many times you eat a month as well. I mean, a month. How many times you eat a day a month? A day. How many times you eat a day? So it's like you don't want to be too strict on yourself. Like I'm not saying like, oh, only eat 12 to 8. If you don't, if you eat outside of this window, then you're gonna fail. No, I'm just saying, if you slowly cut down on those micro adjustments, you'll notice like some of the weight will start slipping off of you. It'll be gradual to you. Oh yeah, hydration, man. Hydration is huge, dude. And I'm not just talking about with Gatorades. Very true. Very underrated point. Just being hydrated and drinking more water in general. I've noticed that same thing. When I'm hydrated, there's less cravings. There's less need to go and eat something. I noticed that when I go throughout the day and I only have like 2 cups of water, in the evening time my appetite gets like, it's like I need so much to be satiated. I need such a big helping because I haven't just drinking water. Yeah, during the summer it was pretty hot, and so my job kept like Gatorades around the clock, and I don't know. I tried to drink Gatorades, but like they dry my mouth out and they make me more thirsty. Paradoxically, they make me more thirsty and more less hydrated. I don't know, but yeah, man, hydration is important. Yeah, I do work for. I'm in West Texas, so yeah, I do work for a company, but I do not go out to the fields. I work in a shop, so yeah, I've been there for next year. Yeah, next year will be 3 years. Next July will be 3 years. So yeah, I've been working there. It's not bad. Although, but how can I say this? Mm, I would maybe it's the way I view it, but I would love to work work for a greater cause that was more impactful, that had more like an impactfulness, I guess, on society. Not saying that oil doesn't in general, because I think there's a big need for oil, and I think it. I mean, it does help in some way, but right, right. Wanting to have an impact, wanting to do something more, know that you really helped out. Like some of my friends are in school right now for psychology, and I know the thing about psychology. I know it's like we're at a point now where maybe I'm just crazy or thinking this, but it's just from what I see. It seems as though when it comes to like certain, I guess, jobs, certain careers, like psychology, people like pay them as though they're like worthless or there's no need to learn philosophy. We have free philosophy online, or you can just buy it from the store. All right, there's no need to really be a psychologist or really take up college debt for psychology. That's the kind of rhetoric I hear spewed, and I think yeah, yes and no. Because I mean, I've thought about going back to school for several different things. I'm narrowing that down, but I just have thought about going back to school. It's like I guess it gets to a point where, like, yes, you love your job. You know, it's like the book I was reading. So like the book I was reading, it is How to Be Happy at Work. If I'm not mistaken, I told you I read it. Well, actually, okay, so I read 4 books this month, and it was by the Dalai Lama and a reporter asking like how to be happy at work, and it mentioned about how people view their jobs in 3 different ways. Exactly, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. It's they view these jobs like this. And I mean, I get it, right? Because like you just touched on, being a social worker or a therapist or something like that, you have to ask yourself, would it be worth it? Because are your wages going to be sufficient enough to not only keep up with rising inflation or rates, but be able to keep you afloat in general? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was. That was my point I was getting at, where things, degrees, sometimes it feels like if you're not going towards the top of that degree, like if you want to get, I don't know, just a certain degree, and like you can take several different career paths. It's like if you're not a doctorate of that field, if you're not the, although like I don't think that's a case by. I think it's case by case. I don't think it's always. I'm not saying you have to be a doctor or this high scholar in this certain topic or have this certain knowledge to be at the top. Um, but you know, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Uh, which is why at my job they want me to. They just got this robot, this other robot welder in, and it's similar to mine. So they want me to learn it. And so after I learn it, I'll be able to run three robots, and I can hand wheel. You know, and I only said that because like I told them like if I still do want to work for the company, I would rather be in management. I told them straight up like yes, physical labor is okay. Don't get me wrong, but hold on one second. Yeah, I do think physical labor is okay, but I would love to be in management and not have to be so. I'd rather be like more mentally stimulated and have to like figure out things and have to like, you know, repetitious on the physical ground, you know, every single day. But um, hmm, wow, that's a good topic. Free software to my customers. That's commercial control. Okay. Right. Right. Yeah. You want to, you know, not saying that you want to be a social worker, but it just would be hard where you at. You know, you couldn't afford. I don't know if you have a family or not, but you couldn't afford yourself, your family, your kids, possibly your lifestyle. So yeah, I mean, I get it. We sometimes we do things in life that we might not want to do, or but we do know how it can, you know, help us. So no, I for sure understand where you're coming from. Yes, the labor force, man. Uh, I it's these type of questions that you're asking me are questions like I ask in my head. That's why I title it. Am I having an existential crisis? Because these comments that you're saying is like things I'm thinking in my head. Like, hmm, right. These questions I ask in my head, and you touched on like downsizing of the labor force. Yes, I've noticed the same exact thing. I've seen. It's like every time I go out now to the grocery store, I see less and less workers. You know, you see more grocery stores that just have self checkout. Walmart is down there self checkout. Like they only have like what 3 or 4 registers that don't have self checkout, right? And that's on the low case AI, right? That's on the like lower scale. Bigger AI, it's like the possibilities of what it can do, right? The thought that you know it can solve problems faster than us. Is what it boils down to. Like I think the reason why AI is so this like magical type of like thing. It's just like the fascination comes from being able to the fascination of AI. I think is because of how fast it is. Again, for us, for them, and to be replaced right by a computer. I think about that. I think a lot of people have thought about career changes. Have thought about how they want to make a more impact in the world. You know, like I'm not just the only one to think that, and I don't think you are. However, like you said, you you don't know if you'll be able to survive or exist in this economy. You know, I'm not trying to talk too much on the economy, but I mean you can't deny things have been increasing. I don't know if people don't want to talk about it. I don't know. I don't come from a lack mindset, so my mindset is still. I have to have an abundance mindset, and I think there's enough money to go around for everyone. I do. You call me a socialist, whatever. I don't know. But I think I think every time you go to the grocery store, every time I go to the grocery store, I just notice prices have been increasing at different retailers. Things have been going up a couple dollars. Avocados have gone up. Even something like that, right? I eat a lot of avocados, and like I try to go and get like I get the bag. I sometimes I just get like the guac already made, and I like freshly made way. But even like the bag ones are more expensive. You know, like the warehouse slowing down. Hmm. I'm actually shocked about that warehouse. Like I can see the AI companies, but I guess I'm a little bit shocked about the warehouse production slowing down. Hmm. It's interesting. Like I said, I toyed with the idea because mm, okay, okay, okay. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So let me see. I'm going to end this in 3 minutes, 3:45. I'm going to end this, wrap it up. So, but yes, I have seen the slower production of just um, no, no, you're good. You're good. Um, but I have seen a slower production of workers in retail stores. So out in West Texas, it's kind of different. I don't know. The malls are usually packed. Like back where I'm from in Louisiana, I think malls are very scarce. You will barely see any cars. It's really going downhill, unfortunately. But here, the malls are usually packed. People are there. People are out. You know what I mean? Like those type of places, you might get a sense of community because you also see the same people like hanging around there and like right. I've been there not too much, unless I like really I don't know. Maybe if I want to see if Paxson has something, but I don't know. I haven't really been in the malls like that because I haven't just been shopping like that. Uh, so I haven't been in the malls, but it's interesting that the warehouse was slow down part time. So you getting about what 20 hours a week, 20, 25. Hmm. Yeah, see, it's like part of me is like maybe I should stay with welding because I am doing something robotic. And let's just say within the next 10 years, if I were to look that long ahead, I would either, of course, be upper management, as in maybe like quality manager or something like that, or I would be a manager on the floor, like a shop foreman, because I'd be able to, of course, over the welders, you know, and then that's why shop foreman, can probably ask for like, yeah, just higher wage, 6 figure wage, higher wage, you know. So part of me is like, well, if you do that, if you do go that route, then you do set yourself up to not feel like you have to, you know, you need to find something to keep up. You will be able to stay afloat in in my lifestyle. See that? Listen, man. Trust me. That's a whole different topic. I'm gonna touch on it lightly. I I live by myself, and man, it's I was I was thinking today. I was like, man, you know, living on your own, nobody kind of prepares you for it. I guess you say it's a. I guess you would say it's adulting. Um, my dog just barked. Let me go see what he's barking at. It's weird. 1 second. Um, yeah, mine like living by myself. So what I was saying was that, you know, again, as much as I have an abundance mindset and stuff, like I also try to like be practical about money right now because like even with the type of money I'm making, I mean, you know, like I said, I just like earlier, I see price increases. It's just I do, I see, and so literally, like I said, going into next year, I'm going to just be like, you know, really conscious of how everything is and nice, bro, nice. That's super nice. I used to when I so going back to your previous point, when when COVID happened, I had to work at the grocery store. I had to move out of my place. I had bought a truck. I had furnished some furniture, and I had just moved into a rent house with some roommates when COVID happened. COVID happened like 2 months after that. So like, I had to let some of that stuff go after the apartment. I had to move back with my mom, and I had to live with her until I could get back on my feet again. Moved out again, went back with her, and then I've been here out on my own for, like I said, it's gonna be 3 years next July, and I mean, it's ups and downs, man. You know, it's of course two incomes would probably be better than one for sure, but yeah, man, it's you know, I just take it day by day. You know, um, you said talking about your you got your service nice. Also, it doesn't open again until January. Okay, so you're not working this week. Well, the warehouse job. Okay. Mm. PC business. Yeah. That would be nice to be a web designer, especially with like those little ads. You to make some really great ads and you know get the advertisement and the clicks and the purchases and everything that you want. Yeah, that would be great. I've also thought about coding too. You know, um, I have I've thought about it, or just like I said, going back to school for some. My dog is for something else. I am 27. 27. Yeah, right on the cusp of millennials. I guess I don't feel 27 mentally or physically, um, but yeah. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? From the sound of it, I would say you sound about 35. I hope I'm not wrong. You could be older than that, or you could be like 18, 28. Okay. Okay. Hmm. 28. I don't know why I said 35. Hey. You said it surprised you that I was younger than you? Do I seem older? Do I look older? Probably. I don't know. But yeah, man. Um, it's nice to meet you, though, man. I appreciate you rocking with the channel. I appreciate your comments and your support, man. It's been great. It's really been good. Thank you for the great questions and the great chat. It's nice to bounce ideas, throw out certain concepts. So, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I'm a bit tired. I'll probably take a nap after this. Kind of beat. Then try to grab some dinner or cook some dinner, maybe. You know, maybe do a little bit of reading. I don't know. Um, right, right, right. Child free. You know, I that's what I was thinking. Like that's another part. Is like okay, I'm living on myself. I'm living by myself. Even if I did have a yes, I do want to the recipe. Even if I I had a girlfriend live with me and shit. Um, like just bringing a kid right now. Like I just don't think it's yeah, man. Uh, mm-mm. If I was like, considerably wealthy, uh, see, but then again, I don't know. I just don't think they would get the all the time, and like I would be questioning if I'm giving my kid enough time and around them, being around them, and actually like I'd be probably worried about my kid, like what they doing, or more so like at school, like what could happen to them there. I just be like concerned parent, um, but also understand that they are a reflection of me, and they are a certain miniature me, and respect them, and respect their space, and respect my kids in that way. Um, but yeah, I'd love to hear the salad recipe if you want to share it. My apologies, I was looking at something. I'm gonna screenshot it. It does sound like sounds like a really good recipe, man. Yeah, man. Thanks for the recipe. I'm gonna go ahead and head out. I appreciate you again. Um, yeah, I'll see you next video or next live stream. I kind of want to see about live streaming. I don't know. I just wanted to try it out at first to see. No, that's bad. Wanted to try it out first just to see, how to go. Of course, over time, if I was more, just get more serious into live streaming, then I'd give me a better setup, a better background and mic and, audio and lights and music, things like that. But just for the meantime, as a first live stream, I appreciate you walking with me, and I'll see you in the next video.